Hello everyone. Today we are going to the Grassmarket to tell you little known facts about the Grassmarket. So I thought we would take a little wander around the Grassmarket and tell you some not like long stories, although some of them I'm sure do have a bit of a tale to tell, but these are more like facts, little snippet facts that if you were with someone here and you were wandering around, you could just go, oh, did you know? And then tell and just drop the bomb of a cool little fact and just walk away. It's like dropping the mic of a fact and walking away, and they'll be going, wow, they know stuff, they are intelligent, and you can be like, yeah. Or at least that was the idea of it. So I've looked up just little facts about the Grassmarket that might be cool for you to know. Now, if you think these are going to be cool, dark, murderous facts, well, let me tell you, you are in for a disappointment, because they're not that sort of thing. It's just little cool facts about the Grassmarket. But first, I've got to get there. And as if by magic, here we are, Grassmarket. So I'm going to start with a cracker of a fact. Now, going back a few years ago, not a massive amount of time, but a little while ago, when the Grassmarket was getting done up, so it was a little bit more visitor friendly, pedestrian friendly. Anyway, they discovered artifacts dating back to the Bronze Age, going back 3,000 years. That's taking you back to 1500 to 1300 BC. That they now know that people were living here in the Grassmarket. Now that's like, my head actually has trouble thinking about how long ago that is. Somehow 500, 600 years ago feels like a long time ago, and then when you go 3,000 years ago, you kind of get a little bit, your brain goes, that hurts, don't like it. I mean, the oldest known building in Edinburgh is St Margaret's Chapel, which is in Edinburgh Castle, and that's just under 1,000 years old. But they found artifacts dating back to the Bronze Age, living here 3,000 years ago. That's the fact I'm opening up with, guys. Yeah, get ready, it's all downhill from there. Extra fact that's not in my list of facts that I've got. On a Saturday morning, there's a market here. I may have to eat some food from the market before we go. Fact number 2, and this is going back to recent history-ish, World War I. The first place in Scotland, north of the border, to be bombed was Edinburgh in World War I. And it wasn't bombed by, you know, fighter planes or anything like that. It was bombed by zeppelins. You know, the big gas-filled things. There was 4 of them originally set off. I think only 2 of them made it here. And they bombed all over Edinburgh. At some point that's probably a story worth in itself, to sort of show all the areas where this original bombing happened in Edinburgh. But the Zeppelin flew over and bombed right in front of the Hart Inn, right there. You think there'd be a plaque on the floor or something, but there isn't. But yeah, but the funny thing is about that as well, like when they were bombing from the Zeppelins, it's not like World War II where they got the planes all set up to go and do bombing raids and proper like that. The Zeppelins had originally been tourist things. You know, you would go on it and you would go on a journey. So when they converted them to this, the guys would throw the bombs out the window. I mean, it's terrifying enough being in that thing filled with flammable gas, to then have it filled with bombs and actually have to pick them up yourself and throw them out the window. It's terrifying. Anyway, landed there, somewhere. Now, the Hart Inn is probably worth a video all about itself one time, and I'm sure I'll do that, and you'll probably hear this fact again. But in 1791, Rabbie Burns himself stayed in the Hart Inn. It was his last ever trip to Edinburgh before he died, and just to prove it, right there's a plaque. In the Hart Inn, Rabbie Burns stayed during his last visit to Edinburgh in 1791. See that? A plaque. Just to prove I'm not making this stuff up. There's a plaque. I wonder where they'll put my plaque one day. Next, we are actually only going one door down from the White Hart Inn to Mama's Pizza Area, Pizzeria, pizza place. If you have any geeks with you who come to Edinburgh, and when I say geeks I mean cool people who watch science fiction films, of course, you want to take them there, because it was originally opened by a Star Wars rebel. Actor Angus MacInnes opened and established Mama's Pizzas in 1985. He doesn't own it anymore, but he did. It's actually very cool. There's a lot of good pizzas in there. But once again, to prove that I'm not making this up, founded 1985 by Star Wars Gold Leader Angus MacInnes. Once again, not making it up, it's in chalk. Next fact about it. I'm having trouble saying the word fact today, which isn't good when you're doing a video about facts. Next fact is a movie fact. Now, Edinburgh has had a lot of movies filmed in it, and it's becoming more popular for it because people are realising how cool a place it is to come and film. But in 1961, when Walt Disney came here to film Greyfriars Bobby, they scoured the area of Edinburgh looking for scenes, you know, cool places to film, and they decided to use the Grassmarket, or depict the Grassmarket as where Bobby's owner died. Now this, it's an odd fact to choose. I actually don't know where he died. I can't remember. Maybe I did know at one point. My brain has went delete. But I can't remember where it is now. But the interesting fact about this is, you know, the Grassmarket. Greyfriars is round the corner. And it looks just as, well, maybe not just as cool, but it looks very cool as well. Let me just go for a walk and I'll show you how close it is from here to Greyfriars. And they went, nah, we'll film it there. I know why they did, but still, let me show you. So, here we are, Grassmarket. You ready? Let's go. Okay, that's us just at the end of the Grassmarket. It's not a far distance, and I'm not cutting away. This little road here, Candlemaker Row. And there we have it, guys. There's the statue of Greyfriars Bobby right there. So you can see we weren't far away, but they decided to just make it down there. Greyfriars Bobby's pub, and we've been to it many times before, but the main entrance to Greyfriarskirkyard. Now, I know that when you're picking a location for filming, you want it to be visually impacting, so that's the way filming works. A lot of times they'll film in a different city and say it's that city, so at least they came here to film. That's good. But it's like when you're a stone's throw away, at least put it in. And actually now, as an added bonus, you now know exactly how to get from the Grassmarket to Greyfriarskirkyard. See, extra bits. It's like DVD extras, except not. You know what I really enjoy about being in Edinburgh as well, when I'm exploring with you guys? I always find new bits that I didn't know about. Now, I've told you this before, that this was where the gallows were. This is where all the hangings happened. This is not historic, this is just a nice touch that I like. If you look on the ground here, the site of the gallows, and if we look here, this is a gallows been built into the stonework on the ground. That's definitely one of those things where if you're walking along, you could pretend that you just spotted that and you had a good eye for detail. You went, oh look, that's a gallows. Yeah, I'm good at spotting things like that. Yeah, I know. That's what you could be like. That was an impression of you pretending that you just spotted it. Next up, in the late 1800s, early 1900s, the Grassmarket started to get sort of nicknamed as Little Italy, and that's because when Italian immigrants started to come over round about then, they all settled here for a while. In fact, apparently one of the first Italian immigrants that came set up as an organ grinder on the Grassmarket. Now, I don't know how long that lasted because the nickname hasn't stuck. I don't know it known as Little Italy, but apparently it was for a short period. However, there's definitely a remnants of it because there's 3 pizza places in short succession right here. I mean, there's Mama's I just told you about, there's another one there, and there's another one there. So it's maybe not still Little Italy, but it's still pizza place. Not a fact. Well, it is a fact, but not like one that people might not know because it's blatantly obvious. But the Grassmarket also does give you this incredible view. Look at that beauty. And last, but by no means least, the Grassmarket is a World Heritage Site. Not a Scottish heritage, which I'm sure it probably is, not a national heritage, which I'm sure it probably is, but a World Heritage Site. Some of the buildings are still not original, but the layout is exactly how it was when it first got settled. There's still a lot of old buildings, there's some newer ones, but this is a World Heritage Site. Just take a look. And there you have it, guys. I think that'll do it for today. If that doesn't give you more reasons to come down to the Grassmarket, then I don't know what will, apart from the fact that it has some of the best nightlife in town and some very cool places to eat and see. Just an added extra tip there, but yeah, there you go, guys. You know what I'm going to ask, you know I hate it, but you know, if you enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up. Come subscribe. If you're watching the videos every week and you haven't subscribed, then can you subscribe? Because it would really help me a lot. I hate to ask, but please leave a comment. I've answered most of them right now. I've got a couple I want to get back to now because I've found a couple of extra answers for people, so I want to get back to them. But leave a comment, let me know what else you want to see. I will go back to going up Arthur's Seat. It was just a bit cold today and a bit windy. Plus, as I've been researching, there's so much more that I didn't know. Like, it's huge, all the facts about that. So that might be a little while before I get back to it because there's a lot of research to do. But yeah, until next time. Bye, humans.